Are you curious? This is Angie Stewart from Mia, InnerLight, and Kardec Radio. Today we are going to talk about the UFOs and life in other planets. Is that possible? If you want to know more about this answer and many others, please subscribe to our channel, like this video, and also click in the bell so every week you will be reminded when I post a new video. So let's go. What science says about it? The first thing science says is that there are billions of planets out there and millions of galaxies. What they say is that we don't have the capacity, the technology yet to reach to these planets that are very, very far from us. And we have to understand also that the Earth is nothing special. They say that we are not special in size, in composition, even in the position that we occupy in our solar system. And now I did some research and I got some curiosities. For example, the Area 51 in Nevada, here in the US. This is a very secretive location where NASA performs very special missions. They are called highly classified air missions. And there is a lot of speculation, many pictures of extraterrestrial beings. They were found, the spaceships, but we don't really know if it's true or not true. But it's something to think about. I also did the research in some of the astronauts, and I got the first one, Buzz Aldrin. He was from Apollo 11. And there is a recording that he is communicating with NASA, and he is specifically asking NASA where is the position of a satellite that he knew was flying when they were in space. And NASA told him this is miles away, kilometers away from you. And he mentioned that he had seen a flying object very close to his spaceship. There was a dead silence. Woo! What happened? Speculation. Then we have also Edgar Mitchell from Apollo 14. And he is the one who talks more about extraterrestrials, his points of view. But we also know when they go to space in these special missions for the country, they have to sign lots of documents where they cannot openly talk about their points of views if these points of view will cause any type of danger, any type of speculation that the population will be afraid of it. So, of course, the US don't want people to be afraid we are going to be under attack. So if there were any type of extraterrestrials visiting us and they were discovered, it will be very secretive and hiding. I also discovered Paul Hellyer. He is the Canadian former Minister of Defense, and he talks openly about it. He does a lot of research. He is a member of many communities of UFOs. So if you want to know more about it, just Google his video talks, Paul Hellyer from Canada. And now let's talk about what spirituality thinks about life in other planets. The first book I'm going to mention is this one, The Spirit's Book, that was codified by Allan Kardec, and the Enlightened Spirits answer questions of Kardec related to this. So Kardec asked the questions 55 to 58. He asked exactly about the plurality of the worlds. And then from questions 172 to 188, Kardec asks about the incarnation in different planets. So in these questions, the spirits tell Kardec very similar to what science tells us. Earth is nothing special. God is constantly creating. So there is always a purpose in creating a planet. So there is life in every single planet. The difference is we understand life like life here on our planet. We have air to breathe, we have water to drink. So even when we are able to create spaceships to reach to these far planets, we are searching for what we identify as could bring life. But the spirits tell us life can be different than here. The spirits there, they can vibrate in a different energy, and they might not use the same type of resources we need to survive. So this is something for us to think about. The spirits also describe to Kardec the many differences in levels of planets, meaning the least evolved to the most evolved of all, and what the inhabitants of these planets are like. So I use this other book because it's so super interesting. This book here, this is the Spiritist Review from 1888. And Kardec dedicated one full chapter for this. The title of the chapter is Jupiter and a Few Other Worlds. So in this chapter, Kardec gets a deep explanation from the spirits about the life in other planets and how it is. I will read for you a little bit so you have a little glimpse of it. So on page 110, the spirits tell us that Mars would be even less advanced than Earth, and the incarnated beings there are a type of impure spirits. These impure spirits doesn't mean they are dirty, but it means that they are not evolved morally or intellectually. So imagine life on Earth is already so difficult. We have beings, we have human beings living here that are still really primitive in the sense they are very brutal, they are very violent, they are very ignorant. But we also have beings that are very loving, enlightened, and intellectually evolved. So life on Mars is worse than life on Earth. The spirits also gave to us like an idea of how life in our solar system is in this scale of evolution. So it is like this. Mars is the least evolved of all. Then we have Earth, our planet. Then Mercury and Saturn, they are very, very similar to each other. Then a little bit more evolved, Moon and Venus, our Moon and Venus. Then we have Uranus and Neptune as even more evolved. And finally, the most evolved of all, Jupiter. We also know from this book and a few other books that Mozart, the beautiful musician, the amazing musician that incarnated on Earth, he came from Jupiter. Isn't that interesting? So let's read about how is life in Jupiter itself. Of all planets, the most advanced of all by all means is Jupiter. It is the exclusive realm of goodness and justice, since it only has good spirits. And then he gives an idea. The superiority of spirits is not only in the moral state of its inhabitants, it is also in its physical structure. Then they describe how the physical body of the inhabitants in Jupiter is very different than ours. I will give you a little glimpse. Then he says, Jupiter, the Jupiterians, I don't even know how to say, the inhabitants of Jupiter, They transport themselves from one place to another by sliding on the surface of the soil, almost tirelessly, like the bird in the air or the fish in the water. And the body dissipates after death, so without being subjected to putrid decomposition. This is amazing, very interesting for us to research more and study more. Check it out, the Spirit's Review from 1858. This chapter is awesome. You will love it. And I also would like to tell you one movie that I really enjoyed. The name of the movie is Area Q. It's from 2011, and the Brazilian title is Quixadá. It describes the story of some American reporters and researchers that go to Brazil in search of a kid that disappeared, and they discover a lot. Check it out. So please subscribe to our channel, like our video, click the bell, and check it out next week for another video. Thank you. See you soon.